afternoon, Salome B here, and today I want to talk about the CDC doctor, Dr. Robert Reed, is fighting the opiate epidemic because of personal issues. His son had some cocaine laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl is 30 to 50 times powerful than heroin. And he says that we should not take addiction for granted, and the opiate epidemic is a public crisis. It's not a national crisis, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? An article in the National Epidemic overwhelmingly white. That's the name of the article. Dr. Andrew Kolodny, a drug abuse expert, explains the opiate epidemic has been killed over 64,000 people. It is being compared to the AIDS epidemic. The face of opiate epidemic has been mostly whites, and that is because of the massive increasing in drug overdoses among white adults in rural areas. Andrew Kolodny says white communities do seem to be suffering the most from the epidemic or impact the most. Kolodny says that the opiate addiction epidemic is sparing African Americans and Latinos communities, and here's why. When black people go to the doctors are more likely to not give opiates to black folks because they think they're either going to sell their pills or they're going to become addicted. So the doctors are not allowing blacks and Latinos to get opiates. They're actually holding them back. Matter of fact, my doctor was prescribing Xanax for restless leg syndrome. And she started to cut them because she said that they were addictive. But I didn't realize that was stereotyping. She was stereotyping me. Because she said that, or she was thinking, like most doctors think, that just because I'm black, I'm going to sell them or I'm going to become a drug addict off of them. And what's happening is they're stereotyping all the black patients and not giving them opiates, and they're freely giving white America opiates, causing the opiate addiction. And this is why when you look at white supremacy, you got to look at it as that. Because what's going on with white folks is if you all don't help in the fight against it, it's causing damage in your neighborhoods now. Because by them stereotyping us, they're overdosing y'all. So in Virginia, the mayor is suing a pharmaceutical company because they lied about OxyContin, and he said that drug company is the reason why we have an opiate addiction here in Virginia, opiate epidemic. Here in Chesterfield, Virginia, there's an opiate crisis among the whites, and Chesterfield is like a rich area or a middle class area, and it's predominantly white. But 6 months ago, they have an opiate crisis. Now Virginia has jumped on the bandwagon with Donald Trump and saying that it is a public crisis, not a national. It's not a national crisis because Latinos and blacks are not addicted to it. So it's just a public health. It's a public health crisis, not a national. Because blacks and Latinos are not getting addicted to opiates because they're being stereotyped, and opiates are being withheld from blacks and Latinos. So this is why the article says by Andrew Kolodny that the opiate addiction is overwhelmingly white. So do you think that by Donald Trump calling this a public health issue, they're jumping to fight it But when the AIDS epidemic ravished the black community, they really didn't jump to it and make it as important as they do the opiate addiction for the white Americans now. This is where white supremacy will come in, because you have doctors discriminating on blacks and Latinos, but the opiates don't want to give it to them because they think that they're going to be drug addicts or selling their pills. It's, you know, it's something that needs to be stopped, because now white America is affected by the stereotyping. Do you think that just because white America is being affected and all government officials are now suing pharmaceuticals, it's a couple of states that are suing pharmaceuticals because of the opiate crisis. Do you think they would have did that in the AIDS epidemic, which ravished the black community? Do you think they would have sued pharmaceuticals for not curing or doing things? What do you think? Because I see it. I see that they're rushing to the opiate epidemic because it's affecting whites. But it's only affecting whites because they refuse to give blacks and Latinos opiates. So let's keep talking about this. Like, share, subscribe, Salon B. Have a great day.